Quinn! Why are you listening? I sent you an invite to Ghost. All right, so you have co-host is on the way. You got Joe in the house, Gilad in the house. Indeed. So we are going to talk about spaces bugs every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're here to resolve your issues. Indeed. So first, why are you just speaker? Okay, good. It's a slight delay there, my friends. Quinn, so how are you doing? How was your week?
It was a busy week.
So now we definitely deserve to bug out a little bit today for Quinn specifically because she's been working hard, making sure our platform is stable.
Yeah.
So,
Like we had like a huge problem on Android this week because of a space change that we made. Like I'm not sure if like we I didn't know this until this week, but we have a lot of user on Android 6, a lot of users. And we did we made a change that like broke Android 6 for people and it was like a big thing. So it was really stressful this week.
well, but you got it resolved, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So 100, let's start. There's no 100s. I'm Quinn. I'm having like convulsions here with the no 100s. So give some purple hearts for Quinn, working hard, getting that bug resolved for us. Indeed. Okay, so the way this works is that if you have a spaces bug, please request a mic and we're going to look at how we could address it and solve it ideally in the space. If not, we'll get all the details to solve it. So request a mic. Don't wait till the last minute. Quinn, how much time do you have today? Is half an hour, an hour? What's the vibes?
Yeah, generally I have to like leave at 1 today because I have to walk my dog and I have a meeting shortly after. So and I need to take care of my dogs. But yeah, I have up to an hour.
Okay, fantastical. So we'll start with first
Oh wait,
Dr. M. Go
can
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
can you provide some
Go ahead.
updates? Okay, I just want to provide an update on the Bluetooth thing. It's still an ongoing still an ongoing process with the Bluetooth. Like
Okay.
we got it fixed out, but it's like inconsistency. It's there's still some inconsistency with the Bluetooth connecting correctly.
And this is just for
And
Android, yeah?
yeah. Sorry, this is just for Android. And then
All right.
the speaker thing is still like an ongoing. The speaker not hearing each other is an ongoing thing. They think it's let me see what they think. They think it might be like a network jitter that causing it.
So
Uh,
explain that a little bit further. Network jitter, that's on the Twitter side of things as opposed to people's Wi-Fi,
no, I think
correct?
no, I think well, I need more clarification on it, but I would think that's from the device.
Okay, so I'm going to make a clip out of what we're about to say. So make this good. So explain it in as much detail as possible, and then I'll make it into a clip, and then I'll send it out. Because I know that's probably the number one question on everybody's mind right now is why can't other speakers hear each other? Why is it choppy for the speakers and not
Wait,
for us?
are you experiencing that too, Joselin?
Um, yes and no, not right now. Like our conversation is fantastic. I just know that I'm hearing it extensively. Even I experienced something odd too, where I went actually to listen to a space on desktop, listen only, and it kept cutting out. And then I went into and how I was able. Oh, on mobile it was choppy, and then when I was to desktop, it worked fine. So I'm not sure if there's correlation there at all. But I
Wait,
was just listening in.
well, so we like first off we had to like the issue we're talking about, and it could be like what so you could say it might be a different issue, but the issue we're talking about is that like you know um the speakers are talking to each other and one can't hear the other one because uh because the other one comes to them very choppy or like static or like robotic, or there's something wrong with um the let's just call speaker A. There's something wrong with speakers A audio to speaker B because speaker B can't hear speaker A correctly. They hear but not correctly. But for the listeners, um, they're hearing speaker A and B just fine. Like there's no drop or error in any audio, and that's the issue that I'm talking about.
Okay, so I'm going to just clip that, send it off, and I am going to. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is cancel. So the order of speakers, we have Dr. M was first, then we have Augustus, and then we have, and then I have someone coming in from the DMs, which is Brittany, and then we have Golden Retriever in that order. So I'm going to send out that tweet. And as usual, two things that I would ask: request a mic as soon as possible, and number two, retweet the tweet that's pinned to the nest to get other people here. I know that this is major issues with people having bugs and awareness, so let people know that you're in the space so that we could get all their spaces bugs resolved as well. Okay, so Dr. M, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for holding this space. Thank you, Quynh, for joining us. So I'm trying to report the bug that I kind of explained to you over the DM, Quynh. It's basically it has happened 2 or 3 times only, but I do have the date of and the person. I do know in my mind the space where it happened last. Basically, it's when getting into a space from the notification that the space started, and it only happens when getting into the space immediately on getting that notification. Basically, I get in the space, I'm a listener, and the space is quiet, as sometimes the space is quiet while the host is sending out DMs and whatnot about the space. But basically, after like 10-15 minutes of silence in the space and no animation of the audio wave beneath the icons, I get out of the space and come back in and then realize that they have been speaking for the whole time. So that's the bug.
Okay, thanks, Dr. M. That's definitely like a lot more specific. So you notice that this is only happening when you come into a space from a notification. Is this quick question? Is this
yes. Sorry,
is
go
this
ahead.
like a push notification, or is this like a push notification is like a notification outside the app that you click on it and it opens the app for you, or is this in the notification tab?
In the notification tab, and it only happens when I get in a space immediately on getting the notification. It hasn't happened when joining the space at any time after the first 10 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
That's very informative. Medium. Okay. Is there anything else besides that? Oh, do you you know I know we talked in the DM about that space you were having issue with the audio issue that I mentioned earlier. Is I know you said it's everybody, but even if it's everyone, it would be nice to like pick like pick one person that you had the most issue with and send it my way, because there's no way, like the logs are very like too much, so it's easier if we could like pinpoint to one person. So if you could just send me like just one person you like
Sure, that we're
can
experiencing
remember.
the issue.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. It would be myself and the host, but I will sure I will
Okay.
send you
Okay, if it's the host,
yeah.
I could get the hosts.
Yes, and myself.
Okay.
But we briefly talked about it in that space, and none of the speakers said that they're not having issues. But yeah, the 2 people, myself and the host, would be good examples.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. And the next person that we have on deck is Augustus. So, Dr. M, you're all set, yeah?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it, Joselin.
No worries. Augustus, let us know. How can we help? Action Uggs. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how it is. First, how do I best pronounce your name?
Yeah, Augustus is good. Uggs is the nickname, but thanks for hosting, guys. Appreciate it. So yeah, I think you sort of started off by addressing the main issue of the speakers having problems hearing each other when they're on stage. I think that is the biggest one, and I'm glad it's becoming well known that it's a very common problem. I'm in spaces probably most of the day, I would say during working hours, and I hear the hosts consistently having problems, and it is an issue, and then on occasion in the evening I'm on as well, and same thing. So I think it's good that you guys are able to look into that a little bit more and try and.
Hey, do you have like another like I know it happens a lot, but like the more data the more specific data that we have, the more we can understand it better, because we don't have like a general metrics of like, well, we did have like a general metric, but like that doesn't tell us the issue, so we think there might be like a problem. So like, is there like a space that this happened in that you can report?
Yeah, I can probably DM you. Let me just follow you if you can follow me, and I'll DM you a couple
Yeah.
specific instances when I've been in recent spaces that it happened,
Awesome.
and then I'll let you know, because it's a regular thing, and I know for sure. Just last night, actually, there was a couple instances where the may have come up. So I will confirm that with you. I think it was a space that started around 8 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern time, and yeah, they were having some issues there. Excuse me. So that's, I guess, the first thing. I'll definitely get you that, which is the big one. That's in the community I'm part of is comes up quite regularly. I guess the other question I had was, and um, Joselin, you mentioned at the beginning, with the desktop functionality, it seems like it's only listener. So I kind of was able to, I guess you could say, trick the system by logging into my phone and my desktop, then logging out of my phone, and then I can then stay with a hot mic, but I can't mute myself on desktop. So I'm just wondering. I know it's not really a bug, but is there any kind of additional functionality coming up down the road that will provide better ability to use spaces for speaker on desktop or even iPad from that perspective?
Well, we do have something in our roadmap like for this year to like, not an iPad, but to have speaker on web, but that's on our roadmap. Things can change, so I don't have a definite answer.
Okay, I just want to provide the feedback that would be awesome. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah,
again,
I
being on
know.
spaces, like leaving it on cell phone all day, especially if you're a host or you're a
Yeah,
speaker and you want to control it. I mean, it's you got to pretty much stay plugged in all day, and if you're on the road or wherever you're moving around, it's really hard to stay on
I
spaces,
see.
to be perfectly honest, right? So it'd be awesome. I'm sure like a lot of people
Okay.
on Twitter would love to have additional functionality on desktop or iPad if possible. That'd be amazing. And I guess the last thing that I wanted to share was, we have some pretty robust and I guess robust spaces, and we get people hyped up in the community, and we like to throw up the hundreds, which fortunately I still have because I didn't update my profile yet, so I fortunately have it. But if there's any way we can get these hundreds back, trust me, people in the VV community would friggin' lose their shit. They'd be so happy because we love to have. We have a couple regular weekly spaces that like to pump up the crowd, if you would say, one way or another, play some music, and we really have a blast. And the vibe's a little bit different when all you got are the hearts, so or hands
Yeah.
jumping up. So, man, if you could do that, that would be awesome. So
It's in our active development to bring it back, but like we're gonna bring it back with a better feature. So look out for that this year.
awesome, so
Yeah,
much, really
Augustus.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Augustus. Just a caveat: when you don't update your app, you are subject to all the bugs that have been addressed after the version that you're on. So just have to weigh the pros and cons of having that 100. I know that you love it and it's cool to showcase and flex on it, but that's also preventing you from solving these issues that you are having, because the issues have been resolved in the newer versions of the app. So just keep that in mind when you keep that 100.
I hear you, and that makes sense. I know, generally speaking, I completely agree. But what I've done, I always like to make sure, just whatever. I slowly integrate, and I've seen other people who have all updated, like an entire panel of speakers is updated. None of them have the hundreds, but they all have the speaker issue. So I think that's a little bit different, but I do appreciate the feedback there, and I appreciate you guys hosting the space. Thanks a lot.
Sorry, Quynh, go ahead.
Oh, definitely the speaker is like a back end thing. It does not really have to do with clients. It's about our mechanism on how we process audio for the speakers. But on to Joselin note, we did make a lot of improvements. I'm not sure if you're on iOS or Android, especially on Android, to like that would decrease the crashes, since like we got a lot of crashes on Android, so you're also not getting those benefits.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. I know, I completely understand, but yeah, you make yourself more vulnerable when, not from like a hack or anything, but from the bugs that have been resolved. Because then if you report the bug, they're going to say, have you updated to the latest version? And you're going to say, no, but I love the 100s. And they're going to say, okay. Anything else, Augustus?
No, appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, indeed. So I want to address the pinned tweet. I'm going to put it back at the. Oh, and by the way, before you go, Augustus, there is the timeline. The last pinned tweet that I put there had the desktop rollout plan. So if you see there are 3 phases. Number 1 is the listing phase, which we've been on for like a year, or since the beginning. The next phase was to roll out the speaker option, and then it was the creation option. Of being able to schedule a space and things like that. So that is the last rollout plan that I've known for the past year. It hasn't been updated or shared if it's changed. So that's it for that so far.
Did you find this? Did you hear this in the Twitter community?
I talked to Noah, who was rolling that out like a year ago. I was actually in the space when he was testing it out. But yeah, so that is the deal. They haven't really made any public announcements about it, but stay tuned as always. And Augustus, thanks for joining. Dr. M, thanks for joining. So I wanted to get to the an issue that is from someone that can't join because they're at work. Did you get a chance to read Brittany's series of tweets regarding her issues about the 3 devices and the profiles and blah blah blah?
I'm reading it right now.
So she's unable to speak. And this would be a good time for the Spaces chat feature, by the way, which we'll get more information from you if you can share. Because that bottom row is filling up with a bunch of options, especially since they haven't removed the transformer. So we'll give her some time to go through that. And then we have Golden Retriever next. Then we have Bez, and then we have Sajad. I think that is the order. If not, just let me know. And we'll bring up our friend Golden Retriever. But again, Golden Retriever, hold off, Beth, hold off, because we still need to resolve the other issue for Brittany once Quynh has had a chance to review it.
Oh yeah, let me. I'll respond to this after the space.
Okay, great. So Brittany, thank you for letting us know. She'll send you some DMs to resolve it. And this goes for anyone else. If you're unable to speak or you feel more comfortable sending a DM, my DMs are open. And if you're connected with Quynh, you can send her one. So as the space progresses, just send whatever situation's happening and with as much detail as possible. If you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. We'll take it from there. So with that being said, Beth, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for bringing me up. Thank you, Quynh and Joselin. It's always really helpful that you guys do this space each week. I have a question. Why is it, and this may not be a useful thing for me to know, other than me saying +1s on pretty much everything that has been said related to Android thus far. +1 with a huge in a zillion font thus far. Why is it? It seems like some of my speakers who use headphones get kicked off of their headphones and back onto their phones when they're speaking. Is there a reason for that, or is there a way to avoid that? Because as a host and I'm using headphones, it's a huge pain for me if I want to speak.
Yeah, I think this was I wasn't sure if you were at the beginning, but this is like the ongoing Bluetooth headset problem that I mentioned on
Okay,
earlier.
fine.
We're actively working on it. Like the development like made some fixes, but it's like inconsistent. Like it seems to like at the start of every time someone becomes a speaker, they lose connection from
Yeah.
the headset. But the fix semi is there because what I noticed on certain device that if you like background the app and then push it back on, it reconnects to your Bluetooth again.
Oh, it will.
But
Okay, that's good to know.
but a caveat that it might, because of the inconsistency, it might not happen on all device. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So we're still working on it. Like I was just talking, the person that was handling his ticket was out a couple of days early this month. I mean early this week. So so he's actively working on it. So
Okay, I have had two inexplicable times where I've been kicked out of my own space in the last 2 weeks, twice actually. And it doesn't make any sense. I'm not even touching my phone. And I've got my headset on. Would that be related to that? I mean, this is while I'm actively talking. And all of a sudden, my voice drops out, everything dies. Any thoughts on that?
I don't think that has to do with your Bluetooth.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, but can you share me a space that happened last in?
Sure. I can't DM you.
Oh yeah,
Can you make that possible?
yeah. I follow you back, so you could do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I will
share.
follow up with this.
Yeah, just share me just a space, or you said the last two space. So just it'd be nice to have more data. So just share the space that happened in.
Yeah, I'll try to give you a specific time time in the space that it
Oh my
occurred.
God, that would be great, because that way we don't have to dig through so much logs and we could just concentrate on the area of the log.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
whole idea, and I'm an audio person, and I get that, so it makes it easier for you. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Have a nice weekend, everybody, and take care.
All right. Thanks a lot, Beth. Always good to hear from you. Quick question. Do you happen to know the timeline for the Spaces chat?
Well, it's done and it's in a state where like we put development is done and QE approved it and it's all ready, and it's in the product team to like for like marketing and whatnot. So I'm gonna say really soon.
Okay, so we have no sense
But
of
you're
like.
talking about the reply,
Yeah.
the reply. Yeah, I'm gonna say really soon. I just don't have like the exact date, but it's like all done, and we're ready to ship like the first version of it.
Okay, cool. So from a technical perspective, everything's a go. It's more of like the marketing launching of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool. Bez, what's happening, my friend? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Hey, Joselin and Quynh, thanks for hosting this space. Um, so just to put this in context, I just updated to the latest version right before I hopped on this space. But last night, there was a room run by Mitch Jackson, and Joselin, I sent you a DM with the link of the recording. It started around 8. I hopped in at 8:30, and it was like, him, and he was the host. Mitch was like going in and out of the matrix throughout. Not always, but it kept going in, and then when other people would try to speak, here and there it would happen, and I don't know what was the reason. This week sort of, you know, been like that for me, and just hearing or being involved in spaces off and on. Not I thought for me it was more than normal, but I noticed it on other social media apps as well. And then this week, Apple had an outage, so I don't know if that affected it, but I did send you a DM with the link of last night's room, and so that way, if you want to share it with Quynh, noticed it in the room. It wasn't going out for long, like it'd go out for like a second, and our brains are wonderful. We plug it in, think we figured it out, but it was sort of glitchy.
Yes.
A quick side note: there's currently some issues with Twitter right now. So I didn't get your DM. It's not because you sent it; it could be in the ether. So you might want to check your DM to see.
Yeah, you know what? It said I couldn't send it, and then I saw it that it looked like it went to you. So I'll try again. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I noticed that, and I didn't know if it was me, but some things weren't loading on in different areas of my Twitter app. So I don't know if, like I said, if it's me or if it's the app. So
I think there's some issues with the app. Quynh, I'm not sure if you're noticing your timeline not refreshing, but I'm getting a lot of tweets aren't loading right now. Try again, messages. So
yeah,
that's
I'm getting the same thing, and but I just updated it just now. So before
yeah. I
I
don't
walked into
do with your update. It has, I think, just have to do with just Twitter status. But as soon as I get the DM, I'll forward it over to Quynh to resolve.
Okay, no, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Anything?
I'm not getting anything on my end, but
Okay.
but I'm also not on the
Yeah,
yeah.
my timeline's all screwy. I'll send you a photo. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sporadic. It's like it works and it doesn't work. So whatever. So just in case some people have some issues.
Okay, just send it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bez, is that all? Did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm here trying
Yo,
to send that
just make
DM again.
Baz, your issue sounds like a little different from the issue that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, we definitely need to look at it to see if it's the same.
Yeah, and like I said, it was just a weird week, you know. And I don't know if it was because I was on the app more and or what, but and I can't always know why these things happen, because sometimes it could be somebody's bad Wi-Fi. Who knows? You never know, right?
Yes.
So, or they could be in the car and you know they go through a dead spot on a
Yeah.
set.
So
So
yeah, it's always
yeah.
good to to make sure like the host is in a reliable space. Like I know some people like keep their space really casual, so they're doing it while they're driving, and it's hard for us to do because we can't, like, I guess we could always improve, could connect like the sound coming, but
Well, I do know, Quynh, that Mitch, he was the host. He
yeah.
was it sounded like he wasn't in reliable because he was keep an eye out on the Gonzaga game or some NCAA basketball game, and he wanted to end the space as soon as possible. Right? He kept mentioning, "Hey, and he eventually shut it down. I think at this, it went over an hour, but he wanted to go finish watching the end of the game. So I figured he was home, on a
Yeah.
reliable Wi-Fi. He wasn't in the car, so um but yeah, if you listen to it or I don't know
Yeah.
anyway. So
I don't
Oh
think he
yeah.
was.
Once I get from Joselin, I'll listen to it 30 minutes into the space, and
well,
check
see,
that
I
out.
by the way, I hopped in at if it's I think it started at 8. I hopped in at 8:30 Eastern time, around 8:30ish. So
all right, so it's a legal questions about Web3, yeah, and NFTs, lawyers and things.
yeah, that was the
So
one. Mm-hmm.
I pinned it to the Nest, but he didn't record it. So
Oh,
I
he
don't
Okay.
didn't.
know.
Oh,
Would have to
shoot.
go to her archives internally, but it wasn't a recorded space.
Oh, so okay. I thought maybe he didn't. Yeah.
So this is the space. Okay, we could also check the log at 30 minutes in.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure it did. I think I had it on my calendar because he has scheduled rooms every day, Monday through. I even think through tonight, but he had him on different platforms. He even had one in a metaverse platform. So he
Interesting.
ran a series of rooms this whole week. So I was looking to come on at 9. I think he started the room an hour early because I noticed it. I got like a notification. It was 8:30. I was like, and this is Eastern time. Now he's Pacific, so I was like, okay, and I jumped in right away because they always have great conversations, and I get to ask a bunch of great legal questions. So,
Yeah, it looks like he started it at 8 according to the card because he put the
okay,
time in the card. So it started at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
okay,
So you joined
yeah.
at 9 Eastern
Yeah, like
hour.
8:30ish. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so there you go. And yeah,
So it wasn't recorded.
no.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, no, no worries. And by the way, the clipping feature only works with recorded spaces. It doesn't. Anything else, Bez? Because you said no the last time and you went on for another half hour. No, just kidding.
No, that's it, my friend.
Okay, no
All right,
worries.
thank you.
So we have Sajad next, and then we have Andrew. Sajad, it took you a couple times to come in. I don't know if it's related to the Twitter issues or your issues. How are you doing today? Oh, he got brought back as listener. So we'll bring up Andrew and we'll see if we can resolve Sajad's situation. Quynh, another question for the future. Do you have? Wow, he went from listener to speaker. Did you bring him back up, Quynh?
No, I think it's
Look, he's gone.
it's probably like an Android thing where we've been updating a lot. So like we've been doing a lot of refactoring on Android, and I think the issue here is that like before before it just holds the user in place while it connects. Now it doesn't, just takes them out while they're connecting.
So I'm gonna preempt Andrew joining. Do you happen to know when we'll be able to schedule more than one space at a time? Has that been discussed?
So it's on our roadmap. We have like a few things that they want to do before they get to this, because it's part of the feature request is part of one of a group of one of a so we broke spaces into certain areas to
Oh, I
make
see.
it more manageable,
Okay.
and it's part of one of the areas that I own, and it's in our roadmap, but we have like a few things we want to do before we get to that.
Like more analytics and stuff.
Yeah, we're doing well, yeah, that's the thing that we're doing. We're doing like that analytics. We like try to improve like follows
Right.
for hosts.
Yeah. Post event post space follow buttons I saw in the
Yeah, we did that, and we're trying to do a few more things. Because I know like when people join a space, sometimes it's not like the first thing in their mind to follow, and I think by following someone that you enjoy content from, you get more like
Oh, very
more
good. So
stuff.
without further ado, Andrew from Spaces Dashboard. Welcome to the space, Andrew. How you doing? Andrew, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Andrew? Maybe Andrew can't hear us. I don't know. Oh, there he is. Andrew, welcome.
Hey, Quynh. Hey, Joselin. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Very good. I've got a very important question for Quynh.
Yes, I'm all ear.
I've been using Twitter Spaces pretty much for the last 4 or 5 days, and I can't find any bugs.
Lies.
I just want to say I can't find
Are you
any.
on Android?
No, I'm iOS. I just can't find any.
That's
This
pushing
works so well.
You're pushing it, Quynh, by saying it's Android with no bugs. You're pushing it.
Yeah, I was a little hopeful.
Yeah, so if you can send me some bugs, please, because this is just working too good for me. But
You need to.
In the space, I lost my Bluetooth connection, so this bug is still here.
Okay.
But I saw Quynh working on it, so I was wondering what's the progress with this bug.
I'm sorry?
I think it was either you or somebody else at Twitter who was running like Bluetooth testing spaces, so I was wondering what's like the progress with the Bluetooth bug.
I missed the last. Is it part of the what bug?
So I saw spaces that were about Bluetooth, and I was wondering what is the progress
About
with
what?
Bluetooth? About Bluetooth.
Oh, Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's semi-working. Like we had to we got we got fixed from the developer, and we tested it, and we had to push back on the fix because it really there were certain areas that wasn't fixed on Bluetooth. So and I think I was telling a golden retriever that every time a host like you could have Bluetooth on spaces, and you could hear you could hear a video playing on your Bluetooth, but as soon as you start a space, it goes straight to a speaker. And you could tell this when another speaker comes in and they talk, because if you're you can't hear your own your own voice coming back to you on the space, but when you have a speaker in, you could hear it, and then you don't hear it on your Bluetooth anymore. However, if you if you background the app and come back in, because we did like a fix where it refines the app taking the spaces taking over the Bluetooth control. So that's why when you background the app and go back forward the app again, it regains Bluetooth connectivity. Yeah, that was the fix that was there, but it's not working correctly, and it's being pushed back to the developer. That's the status.
All right, good. So, we lost Tomash again. But in between time, as I bring Lucas up, actually, Sajad is here. Sajad, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Yes, Joselin. Hi, Joselin. Hi, Quynh.
Perfect.
I first saw my challenges while I was on this space. When Mr. B is down there, a speaker actually was speaking. There were kind of portion cut out voice within different time. Like there's a time I could hear and another I couldn't hear. But even times I was hearing like Joselin mic and Quynh mic was popping, but I couldn't hear the voice at all. Sometimes while Quynh was speaking, there was a cut out of voice, but when the voice returned, it's just like returning like a previous conversation from what happened. I could hear again, just like someone pressed the previous button to hear what was saying there. That's an issue I encountered. But there's a time when I minimized to see what's happening. Still on the top, there's another space I was in before joining this space. I can still see my avatar in there. At the time when I took screenshot, I'll send it later, anytime soon, I mean. But when I minimized, before I maximized the UI, the space faded, but still I could hear the entire conversation like for a couple of minutes. So I joined again. So when I joined again, that the first time when I was here as the speaker, but I turned into the listener. But still, I could see myself as a speaker and I was speaking, but I could hear you all saying, I'm just a listener. This is happened within this space while I was joining.
That's interesting. So, how often does this happen, Sajad? Have you been having it since you last updated? When did you last update the app?
I can say this is strange to my side, to kind of cringe like this, but I want to make it clear that I'm on beta and alpha. As of now, I'm speaking through alpha. So maybe this is challenging on alpha, and this wasn't the actual issue. So I just highlighted it as the first because it happened in this space, but I have others.
Yeah, you complicate things with the alpha and the beta install because you were on production the last Spaces bugs, wasn't you? Because I think I asked about what version you were on. This alpha is a new thing that you're doing, yes? Or you're on another phone?
I mean, the same phone, but I'm in alpha. But there's another phone with the beta. So, but this is the kind of phone which I'm testing and using a couple of times. So that's why I'm in alpha. I was trying to do my little thing.
Yeah. Can you re-enter with production to see if it happens? Is your production phone readily available?
I don't have production, but through beta, there's kind of other issues which I can see. That's why I came here to just like spell it out so that can be fixed before coming to beta on production.
Yeah, but yeah, that I don't know. This is what their team is for to a certain degree. Because first, let's figure out if it doesn't work. Because you have 3 phones, yeah? Alpha, production, and beta. So if you can just isolate.
Sorry, as of now, I have to. I have alpha and beta, but I can switch to the stable release to C and to do this kind of testing.
Why don't you do that? Because we might be troubleshooting something that might not necessarily need to be troubleshooted, and it complicates things for the team to a certain degree when you start jumping like that. Because they don't know if it's your phone or the version of the phone, right? So figure out. Let's isolate as many issues as possible because it could be a bad internet connection that's be causing all this stuff, right? So test that out. Come back into the space production. Let's see if we could replicate it, and then we'll test beta, and then we'll test alpha because alpha is 2 steps ahead production, right? So it's cool that you get the screenshots for spaces when they're over, but again, you're compromising it and you're subjecting yourself to bugs, which is the essence of alpha and beta programs anyway. It's not a production-based software, right? So can you re-enter with production and see what happens? If you can, that'll be fantastic.
We have a time here, or maybe I can left out with the issue which I was trying to elaborate, which is not actually this which we are talking.
Yeah, because let's put a priority in production, people, and then go test and come back, and then we could figure out alpha and beta, because we have production-based issues, and that's taxing enough to worry about theoretical future issues of 2 different products that are in the future that are not complete. So, yeah. So if you could do that, we'll bring Lucas up next, and because everything else would be related to alpha and beta. That'll be cool. I did post your tweets about the post space follow that's coming theoretically, potentially, that you shared. That was pretty awesome sauce. But yeah, so test that out. And as we wait for him to do his thing, come back with production. Is it Luca? Is that the best way to pronounce your name?
I mean, I'm just an issue.
You're a little choppy. You're a little choppy. So I'm not sure if there's a signal issue, but can you restart again?
Can you hear me now?
Much better, thank you. So is it Luca?
That's my problem. When I turn on Bluetooth, everybody just push down to my phone. Only when I go like a speaker. When I being like a listener, I can use my Bluetooth, but being a speaker doesn't let me to get the Bluetooth. So far,
hold on a second. Are you on Android?
Yeah, Android.
Okay, Quynh, is this related to the Bluetooth issue that you were talking about?
Yeah. It is. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're still working on it. But we're close. It's just that it. Yeah, we're
So Luca,
close.
I don't know how long you've been here, but at the beginning of this space, Quynh was talking about this ongoing Bluetooth issue that they're looking to resolve. That has to do specifically with what you mentioned. You're facing the same symptoms. So what you could do is just keep your Android updated, and Quynh is going to maybe put out a tweet or something. I don't know when it's resolved. That would be pretty cool. But if not, uh, we'll figure that out. Just DM her, that you're in the queue, in case it happens. She could figure out if it's your phone or if it's still the Bluetooth issue. How's that sound, Quynh?
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I was thinking there was hardware issue, but no, so far it's software. Anyway,
It's an ongoing issue with Bluetooth and Android that's been happening. So they're trying to diagnose it. So as soon as it's a high priority. The Bluetooth issue with Android. So stay tuned for that.
okay. There you go. Appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries. Did you have anything else? Okay. How's the weather over there?
Uh, Still a little bit chilly, but it's improving. Spring this year it's gonna be
No,
final.
nice.
Yep.
I like it. Okay, so we have the last 10 minutes. So if you have a Spaces Bugs, or if you want to bug out and ask about any future feature, Quynh will answer all of your questions about everything. No, just kidding. Whatever. So this is the last 10 minutes. So if a Spaces Bugs, request the mic and we'll get it addressed as quickly as possible. This space is being recorded. So if you came in late, a lot of the things we discussed it at the very beginning. One of the things that was shared at the top of the nest, Sajad posted from the alpha version of Twitter on Android that after the space is over, post space, that the ability to follow a host would be enabled according to that release. There is no guarantee that those features or functions will be actually making the product. That is the benefit of alpha and beta versions of software. You could test things out to see if it's actually going to be something that they implement. So just because you see it there in the image doesn't mean it's actually going to be in the product in the future. Just keep that in mind. So if you have any Twitter Spaces,
Wait, but isn't that the one that Zaha's ship already out? Because
uh,
that came out before before the host analytics. No? Yeah,
not
I'm
the
wrong.
no, not the follow, not the post event follow option.
Oh.
So you might have it internally, but as mere
No.
mortals,
I thought we shipped it out already. Let me look at that.
nope,
But you don't see it, Joselin?
nope. I just see the play stuff. I could check previous.
Yeah, you could check any end space. It doesn't have to be replay. It could be just an ender space.
Oh, but it didn't work because I shared the legal one from Mitch, right?
Oh, let me see.
And if you click on Mitch, all you get is
I
the ability
see.
to share. That's it. You get the regular share options. You get share via copy link, share via tweet, and send DM.
Gotcha.
You don't get
Okay.
anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we shipped out to iOS, Android first, and then the following week to iOS. Yeah.
What do you mean that the people on Android could see iOS spaces?
Oh no, I think there was a problem with the release. Not a problem,
I
but there
see.
was like concerns about this release, and we didn't want to hold back
Oh, I see. Because he's
people
on
out
Android,
to
so maybe.
yeah, on Android, because there was like a few bugs on iOS that we had to fix. Like there was just like a few bugs.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'm saying analytic screenshot API. All right. So
But we did do something where like if you don't follow the host, you know how the end card don't really say much, but we
right,
actually put like a follow host button on the end
right.
card, and that was shipped.
That was shipped to Android, but not iOS, right?
It was shipped first on iOS.
Really? Because I don't. Okay,
Do
so
you follow Mitch? Do you see it?
I do. I
Can you
do.
unfollow Mitch? If you unfollow Mitch and maybe refresh it,
Oh, I see what you're
yeah.
saying. Let me try that now. So let's see if I'm following. Nope, not following. Unfollowing. Sorry, Mitch. Okay, now let me go back to the card, and then I click. Nope, I still see the same shenanigans.
You
The same, unless there's a delay
yeah,
in
there might
that
be a
happening.
delay. Refresh like.
Oh, and we're also testing in a time period where Twitter's having some issues processing stuff. So let me because we only have 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I brought another speaker and flight school C. Welcome to the building. How can we
Hey,
help?
But
thank you so
if
much.
you
I
test
don't
it and
want
you
to.
don't see it, Joselin, let me know so I could like tell someone because I really thought we shipped it.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it at all.
Okay.
That's why I would. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I saw Ben with his hand up first. Should he go?
No, Ben went before, so you haven't
Oh,
spoken. I'm gonna give you
okay,
priority.
perfect. I came in a bit late, and I wasn't sure if anyone had asked if you guys actually first thing I can hear everyone properly, which has been pretty hard for us in other spaces.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys probably covered that. That's cool.
Yeah,
One of our
the only thing
Mhm.
you need to do is in your spaces make sure a Twitter employee is one of the speakers, and then you don't have an issue just sitting.
And for our NFT community, we actually have had a spaces running. You guys won't believe this, but probably since like the beginning of December, there's been a space pretty much 24/7 until today. Like it's going on right now. I just saw this and came over.
Okay.
Uh
Who's the
yeah, it's like we really love it. It's you'll see people with this O in my name. It's
Oh
for
yeah,
this NFT company called Vivi.
yes.
Okay, so
Oh.
we had a question because we might be one of the only communities also that has like like scheduled programming on spaces. That's how much we love it. And we have like shows every Tuesday and Thursdays, and we've been having trouble with playing music. Is that like a new thing that can't happen anymore? Where
Uh
like usually we like one
That's
person might take a request from the crowd.
yeah.
that's the audio issue. It
No, no,
Okay.
no. This is
pauses
a
it,
different
but
this is a different issue.
so
So
you can't play. Oh, okay, new
so
Oh, and sorry, just to make sure, I think Quinn might know, but you can play this song. The speakers and hosts cannot hear it.
yeah.
The listeners hear it perfectly.
Yeah. So this is like there's like two like there was two issues. The first issue is like weird delays for the speaker. The second issue is I think it was we talked about last week, Joseline, is about music in spaces. Like
yeah.
how music is kind of like a background sound and uh and something and the issue is that sometimes background sounds don't make it past the speakers can't hear it, but the listeners all hear it.
So the
Is
two related sound. Yeah, so that's very interesting. Yeah, that's a known thing. We talked
Yeah.
about it this week.
Yeah, well, that's also like I already logged that ticket and it's in the developer. They're working on it, working
because it actually worked perfectly
before
until
2 weeks ago.
yes,
Or three, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Okay, okay. So actually, I'll go let some people know in the other room that
yeah,
at least it's been looked at because we've been kind of sad about that. We have
yeah.
like karaoke night and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, that's awesome if they're trying to work on it.
Quick question before you go: do the host alternate? Is it the same host um, hosting these longer spaces? How does it
No,
work? How do
we
you handle?
alternate. The community is pretty big, so it's like people all over the world. So we'll have like the UK people who will open the space, because they're up early. I'm in Canada, and most people are in the US. So the UK is, many hours ahead of us. So they'll open the morning one. In the afternoon, we'll have someone from the US and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not the same one. It might be the same host for like 2-3 hours at most.
Interesting. So here's again, it's probably related to this whole issue that Twitter is having. So I went to follow my new comrade here, but I get a client error when I follow. I'm not sure if you're getting that too, Quynh. Anyway, so that's there. So this could, you can follow me and send me a DM, and then we could make sure that you don't miss it, and you could tell your peeps, and we can make it
Definitely.
it's Vivi. How do I say it?
Yeah, like VEVE. It's
Okay,
VV.
I
Yeah.
remember business. All right. So
Okay.
that is that. We're gonna hold off on you, Tomasz, because Bez, I think you had something to say. Before you go, Bez, is there anything else? Do I say flight school? Is that the best way to refer
Yeah, or
you?
you could say or millionaire, but that's fine.
Oh, million. Anything else?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. That's been our main thing, and for some reason, once again, the speakers here, we usually have trouble hearing exactly what everyone is saying in the speakers panel, but it's worked perfectly right now that I'm been in here. But I'll let them know everything's kind of going well, and I'll definitely get a lot more people tuning in for the next one.
Perfect. And yeah, if you don't want that issue to happen anymore, just invite Quynh. She'll stay the whole time and just make sure it's stable for you. Just kidding.
Done and done. Thank you, guys.
All right, Bez, and then Tomasz, if we have time.
Just
To respect
okay.
your time, how much time do you have? We're at the hour.
I have to leave soon. This is probably the last one I'll
All right,
take.
Bez. Make
Just real,
it good,
just
brother.
real quick. I understand that to push audio up through the app, it only accepts. Sorry about that. It only accepts mono and not stereo. So wondering when is that on the roadmap to be able to do stereo through the Twitter Spaces?
Bez, we barely get the regular audio working, and you want stereo? No, just kidding. Go ahead,
I'm sorry, man.
Quynh. You have any say on this?
I am not understanding the issue.
Stereo. He wants stereo now. He wants sound
Oh,
from his left
What?
ear to his right ear. He
Well,
wants
well, well.
sound.
When you try to put, from what I heard, I haven't experimented on this, but what I heard, those people that are really real audiophiles, when they try to push a stereo through Twitter Spaces, it won't accept it, so they have to go mono. So just
Mano a
how?
mano.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if that's on the roadmap to be able to do stereo because it does sound different when, you have a music room.
Yeah.
interesting.
They sort of addressed it today at this town hall, the whole audio thing because of podcasters and stuff. It's on the list, Bez. I'm not sure how high it is because they barely could get not a diss, but there's already currently these regular mono issues with the audio, so they got to sort those out first before they start dealing with surround sound and 3-dimensional freaking metaverses and stuff. All right, we don't want to keep Quynh
Yeah.
waiting. Any final parting words, Quynh, before you leave us for your walking of the dog and everything else?
No. I hope everyone have a great day, and
And
hopefully next week I'll bring better news about the
okay,
Bluetooth.
Quynh, one more thing, very easy. Is there any chance we can get the hundreds back in the emojis?
It's in the roadmap to bring it back.
Okay.
No, it's an active development.
Yeah.
I've been telling them to, because it's part of a remember how I told everyone that to make it manageable, we've broken the team up to like smaller parts, and
Yeah.
the team that was working on the reply thingy also will work on the
Space
emoji
chat
thingy.
and emojis
So
go hand in
yeah.
hand. Okay, cool.
No,
So yeah,
no, it's
so
not. It doesn't go hand in hand. It's just that it's the team
same,
that this
the
this
same
this is
team.
the team that worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
Sorry.
just finished with the reply thingy. So they're going to
Spaces chat.
hopefully start work on the emojis. But
Can't
yeah,
wait
we're
for
gonna
that to
come
come
back with
back.
the
Yeah.
100 emoji. Will come back with maybe something better to surprise you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we talked about it at the beginning, so you could re-listen to the recording. That's why I didn't want to re-enter.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
So thank you very
Well,
much,
bye
everyone.
guys.
We appreciate it, and yeah, have a fantastic weekend. And as usual.